Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu, and I am bringing you guys the Thursday Evening Cup series, sponsored by DotA, and I don't have any overlays prepared for this. I kind of just jumped into it because somebody reminded me that was going on, but this is like the Sunday Evening Cup series that you guys have seen on my channel before, but this is the Thursday Evening Cup series, which the only difference is this one's on Thursday. So, okay, let's do this. Let's do the options, audio. I gotta turn both mic on so everybody in the game can hear me now. And everything should be fine. I gotta turn my scroll speeds.
Dire team ban.
Let me switch my overlays.
One of the heroes
okay, we should be good.
Technical difficulties.
We should be good. That
Radiant
should be
team
fine. Alright.
ban.
There we go. Everything's all set. Everything's ready to go. Actually, gotta shut my door so we'll be completely set. But we see the bans and picks are already on their way. We got Alchemist banned up first. And I'm kicking everything that's in my way. Okay. Stepping over things. Door shut. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. Don't worry, guys.
Remaining.
Don't panic. CulBlu is okay. Yes, we got Team Red Candy versus Team SENSEi, and I'm not too sure what the brackets are looking like. I was actually trying to search for those prior to get into this game. But yeah, we see everybody in this game. Everybody's ready to play. We got Alchemist first ban, like I said before. Nothing too shocking just yet. Alchemist Timbersaw, relatively standard bans. Despite Alchemist getting all of his nerfs and stuff, and getting the boost to his regen and everything, he's still a powerful person because it's always hard to tell exactly what role he's going to be playing. From one game to the next, you never know if Alchemist is going to be playing the carry role or if he's going to be playing the support role. And it's probably one of the most annoying things in the world, especially if you're sitting in that captain seat. You're trying to figure out what they're going to be going for, so you can figure out who to ban and what exact strategy the enemy team's going for. So having Alchemist banned out first ban makes total sense. Not too shocked about that, I gotta admit. Yes, with the advent of support Alchemist, it's made it even worse because like you can first pick Alchemist and they start counter picking it and you just play him as a support and he's fine. Or you can first pick Alchemist and they just ignore it completely and you can just play him as a primary farmer and just kill everybody within the course of 15, no not 15, maybe 25 minutes. Might need about 25 minutes for that. Because otherwise, ain't nobody got time for that. And speaking of which, we got a Timbersaw ban on the side of Team SENSEi, like I said before. Timbersaw banned out, not a huge deal. Timbersaw is very annoying. He just pretty much buys a Bloodstone and never dies. It's one of the most strangest things I've seen relative to my casting days. And same thing with Bristleback. I wouldn't say he necessarily just doesn't die, but people focus on him more to kill him. But Timbersaw is a different story because he gets free regen, plus he gets free armor when he gets those reactive armor charges. Bristleback on the other hand, he can get out of hand. He is very annoying. He does get those Warpath stacks, and those Warpath stacks do all kinds of work when you talk about right clicking. A Bristleback with 4 Warpath stacks at level 16 hurts too much. It's kind of one of his only redeeming qualities in my opinion. Cool Spray is really good early on, but his Warpath stacks are where it's at late game. That's what really helps him become that hard carry that he could potentially be. Not saying he usually is. He's not the hardest of carries in the world by no stretch of the word. Moving over to the ban, we see a Visage is the last ban on Team SENSEi before we start getting our picks. Visage, Visage, however you want to pronounce it, standard ban. Don't really have to say too much outside of the fact that if you control the birds well, then you can just dominate any team all over the map without having to actually be there.
Remaining.
And Team Red Candy actually go for a Venomancer first. And guys, I will admit, I'm still not the biggest fans of Venomancer first. I still don't think Venomancer is the best person to pick first, or second, or possibly third, maybe fourth or fifth. That would be a perfect spot for Venomancer. And I say all this out of the kindness of my heart because I love playing Venomancer. He's freaking fun. But as far as first pick, a lot of people like to go for him for his damage, and he's a solid support to some people's eyes, and I do see that aspect because his Plague Wars can scout out things, which is always nice to have a free scout without having to put yourself in too much danger. And once the team fights do break out, he has his Poison Sting, which hurts people because it slows it down quite a bit. He also has a Poison Nova and his Gale. Everything else helps him out as far as the team fights go. I see that. I still don't think he's first pick worthy. I think there are better other first picks, such as a Nyx Assassin or... Okay, we got a push shot coming out from Team Red Candy. I haven't even had a chance to talk about Team SENSEi.
Radiant team ban.
But Team SENSEi pick up the Invoker. They pick up the Nyx Assassin. We just might see some sort of global strat come out from them in the sense that once Nyx Assassin hits level 6, he just gets out of lane and he's essentially anywhere on the map at any one point in time. You just don't know exactly where he's at. And that technically means he's pressuring every single lane at the same exact time. just by not being
5
there.
seconds
Invoker, on the other hand, he has a Sunstrike, the infamous Sunstrike landing on top of everybody's faces when they're low HP.
Reserve time.
I don't know about you guys, but I always play supports, and when I'm a support, it doesn't matter if somebody just sneezed on me and I'm like within the threshold of a kill of an Invoker. His Sunstrike has like a tracking beam. It says, hey look, CulBlu's right there. Tracking beam, you know, lines it up and targets, and it hits me right in the face, and I die, and my team yells at me, and Invoker on the other team is like, lol, 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 and my pride, guys, my pride. And then I started casting, and I felt a lot better. So I can say, hey, you guys are bad, and not me, ha ha. Anyway, all that aside though, we got a Nyx Assassin Invoker, so a pseudo global strat is too early to tell if they're going for that kind of thing, because the Invoker is, at the end of the day, still a good person to have if you play him right, which is more or less Quas X XOR. Although I'll talk about that more in the game. Moving to the side of Team Rare Candy, push strategy in the sense that Venomancer can do a really good job of putting a nice little clump of plague wards to just help push the lanes out, or to help defend the tower, and Pugna has that crazy Nether Blast that does all kinds of work, and when the team fights do break out, he just drops a Nether Ward and just pops the Crepify on you and just starts sucking all your HP out and just kills you, and it's very annoying. But of course, the team Team SENSEi, they will have to make sure they defend that, they will have to make sure they play for that. As far as the bans go, we got a Mirana ban and a Viper ban on the side of Team Rare Candy. The Viper ban, questionable, sure. The Mirana ban makes sense. Roaming around with those arrows
5 seconds
really hurts
remaining.
a lot. That would be the only thing I can say. Mirana can become that carry that's a little bit scary, but I don't really see her as being that big of an issue, because she's usually very flimsy when she does go for like a super hard carry. But her ulti is always useful, and also her arrows, oh man, the ability for them to hit people. If just one good arrow hits, then I can pretty much just turn the tide of any game. If you just get that one arrow in that carry for 5 seconds, for a 5-second stun, they're just done for. Viper, on the other hand, he's just become that super tanky person. Looks like Team Rare Candy is just banning out people who can become tanky and just be annoying. Hence the Alchemist ban, hence the Bristleback ban, and also hence the Viper ban. Moving on to Team SENSEi, they ban out some more pushers. TA, not necessarily a pusher, but she snowballs out of control. And when you have a push strategy on your side and the push strategy does well early on, TA just snowballs as fast as anybody, because she just gets that free damage coming out from that meld, and also her fraction charges helps out a lot. Especially if you're going against someone like maybe an Invoker or a Nyx Assassin to a certain extent. Enchantress, early game push, really strong stuff. Banned out, makes sense. I do not like Enchantress as a carry, but I do think that a Chen would be a more preferable ban, in my honest opinion, than Enchantress. But Enchantress can kind of get those ganks a little bit earlier than Chen, because she can get more creeps faster. We see the picks going on through. We got a Nature's Prophet for the counter push and a Life Stealer for the Nyx Bomb. The Nyx Bomb, or the Nyx Bomb, or the Nyx Prophet Nyx Bomb Voker. They have all kind of bombs on the side of Team SENSEi. They have a lot of opportunities open for them. Nyx Assassin likely going to be roaming around, and Lifesteal likely going to be jumping inside Nyx and going for some easy kills. Nature's Prophet likely going to be building a Shadow Blade Hand of Midas, so Lifesteal has another vehicle to jump in or TP anywhere on the map.
Remaining.
So like I said before, guys, a global-esque type strategy coming up from Team SENSEi is still more or less there. The only question is who's their last pick going to be, because if it's someone like a Zeus, or actually Zeus would not fit in this lineup. But if it's someone like a Spectre, if it's someone like an Ancient Apparition, that will be all hands down like a global type strat.
Radiant team.
We went to Team Rare Candy. They pick up the Crystal Maiden and they pick up the DK. So we have a Crystal Knight or Dragon Maiden. Oh God, I would not want to see the pictures of that. But we see them pick up that combination. Crystal Maiden really good for those early on ganks. DK, he can push out lanes pretty darn fast as well. So all in all, Team Rare Candy going for some super early game aggression. With their strategy, from what I'm seeing, if they do not win this game within 30 minutes, they're going to lose this game flat out. Because Lifesteal's going to be able to get his farm, and Broker's going to be able to do whatever the heck he wants. Prophet, he can split push like a boss all by his lonesome. And you'll likely need the help of someone like a DK with at least level 6 or better, and maybe a Crystal Maiden for a Frostbite to actually kill the Nature's Prophet before he TPs out. So it's going to be a very hectic game for Team Rare Candy. They're going to have to be really aggressive early on, and if their aggression does not pay off, then they will not win. Moving on to the bans, you see Team SENSEi, they ban out the Lone Druid, which makes sense because they see push, Dragonite, push early game aggression push. That's what they see from Team Red Candy.
pick.
So having a lone druid banned out, perfect idea, because they don't call it GG Bear for nothing, guys. That bear tears down towers faster than you can say some other word that's long and takes a long time to say. Insert word here. And it's actually kind of funny because if you think about it, Lone Druid just barely made it into the picks. Anybody?
10 seconds remaining.
Sorry guys, I apologize. Anyway, the last ban on Team Red Candy
5
is the
seconds
Rubik,
remaining.
which makes sense. It means they might want to go for something big, like maybe like a Tide Hunter or Enigma. I don't really know. Ancient Apparition. Or maybe they just don't like Rubik. But Rubik in this lineup of Team Red Candy would fit decently. I wouldn't say the most perfect. The best
10
spells for
seconds
Rubik would still be the Prophet Teleport, Nyx's Assassin Vendetta, or Impale,
5
which is
seconds
perfect
remaining.
as well. Or Invoker's Cold Snap. But a Wind Ranger, or Wind Runner,
Dire team pick.
Wind Ranger Runner, Wind Run Ranger. She's going to be the last pickup for Team SENSEi. And we got a Clinks as the last pickup on Team Red Candy. And guys, early game aggression / we gotta win this game before Lifestealer and Invoker and Prophet get too much farm. That'll be the story of this game, and the question will be, will Team Red Candy be able to pull off the perfect early game? Because they need Pugna to get that early push so he can get his big items. They need DK to hurry up and get his farm because he takes for freaking ever to become that super scary carry that he can become. Crucible Maiden just needs to not die. Venomancer just needs to be Venomancer, just slither on and doing whatever he wants. And Clinks needs that Orchids. So like, I guess if you want to put this in terms of other games like, such as StarCraft, this is a really timing-based strategy coming up from Team Red Candy. They're really going to have to get aggressive early on, and that's really going to have to pay off. Otherwise, they're just going to flat out lose. Like I said, the timer is already on from the start of the game. This is Team Red Candy's game to set the tempo for, and if they do not set it correctly, then they will not stand a chance versus late game on Team SENSEi. So with all that done, all is said and done, let's go and do introductions. Starting off on the side of Team Red Candy, or RC. On the side of the Dire, we see Ice on that Pugna. Moving over to this Clinks, we see Jolly Joker on Clinks. On this Crystal Maiden, we see Outshine on her. Moving over to DK, we see Jester sitting right next to a nice little boar. And last but not least, on this Venomancer, we see Sakuza. And that ends all the calls for that team. On the side of SENSEi, on the Radiant side, or Team SENSEi, we see Scout on that Nyx's Assassin, who looks like he's heading on to be top lane, a support, or maybe a tri-lane, not too sure. On this Lifestealer, we see Hey Joe on him, so hello Joe. On this Nature's Prophet, who's all the way down in the fountain, all by his lonesome, we see Tinker. So that's going to be confusing. We got, oh sorry, it's actually Kemlexi Tinker. I shall call you Tinker because I can't pronounce that first one. But we got Tinker playing Prophet. So that's going to be confusing. Moving over to this Windrunner, we see Arse. It's not Ass, guys, it's Arse. It depends on which country you're in, but if you're in, I want to say in the UK area, it's Arse. That's how you say it. It's a proper way to say it in that area. Just to let you guys know, because I watched a few British-esque shows. They were awesome, and they kept saying Arse, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But anyway, we see that on Windrunner. And last but not least, on this Invoker, we see the one, the only, Trash. Actually, first time I ever heard his name. Sorry, but I had to spice it up a little bit.
I guess I can get faster.
Sorry, very violent things are happening back in my room. I had to clear my throat because of all the violent things that were happening. Okay, that sounds horrible. Anyway, moving on. As far as the lane matchups go, see down bottom we got Nyx's Assassin plus Nature's Prophet hanging out against the Tri-Lane on the Dire side, which is actually a Pugna plus a Venomancer plus a Crystal Maiden. And I gotta be honest, guys. I gotta be really honest with you. I really don't like how easy it is to kill these guys. If any one of these people get caught out, they're just gonna flat out die. Nyx's Assassin just needs one Impale in the right place and he can actually get the kill. But on the flip side of that, they can really turn a fight because they have a nice high amount of damage output. Because Pugna has his Nether Blast, Venomancer has his, well, he has his Poison Sting at a certain point. And Crystal Maiden does have her Nova, which can do a lot of nuke damage and kill people pretty darn fast. So both sides are very, I mean, it's more logical inside of for Team SENSEi to win that lane, but the Tri-Lane from RC is a very scary one. It can kill people. Moving over mid, we see Invoker versus DK. Nothing too surprising here. Invoker probably going to wait till like maybe level 4, level 3, before he gets aggressive on top of that DK and just starts trying to cold snap and force him out of that lane.
Not gonna happen.
Moving over up top, we got a Lifestealer plus a Windrunner going up against a Clinks. And Clinks, I don't know how much farm he's going to get, but he's actually doing a decent job relative to what he's facing up against. He has a whole entire 4 last hits versus his opponent who has 10 last hits. So the pings are going a little bit crazy. We got pings going all around. Are they saying we need to place a ward around that corner? Or maybe they're just saying, hey, he's doing pulls. Whichever one they're saying. But they do have a nice little offensive observer placed right on here so they can see all of this going on through here. And they know when the creeps are getting pushed, when they can go and push and try to dive on top of Prophet. Because as far as Prophet survivability versus these guys, I don't see it being all that powerful. At best, Prophet might be able to TP out after a Frostbite from Crystal Maiden. That's really about it. Meanwhile, mid Invoker doing a nice little job holding onto those runes. Does have Cold Snap plus a Sunstrike. He might be looking to get aggressive on top of DK. But DK, I wouldn't say he's a boring person to play against or a boring person to watch in lane. But in general, he shouldn't die in his lane. Between Dragon's Blood and the region that he naturally gets at the start of the game, which in this case is 2 shared tangos, he should be able to survive pretty much anything. Even if Invoker decides to get aggressive, he should be good. Meanwhile, down bottom, Nyx is actually doing a nice little mana burn on top of Pugna, just making Pugna feel all kinds of stupid and dumb because he's smart. Taking everything that he has. And up top, we got Windrunner trying to give us a little bit of damage on top of Clinks. Clinks getting a nice little hit on top of Windrunner. Damage is getting traded back and forth, but all in all, Clinks can't really do too terribly much to kill these guys. He would really have to catch Windrunner out of position to actually get a kill, because yeah, I don't know if he can do enough damage fast enough. And actually, Windrunner is going to be going toe to toe with Clinks, popping a few of her Windruns just to get some right-click damage on top of Clinks. That just shows you the state of how much damage that he can actually do. But all that said, between Lifesteal and Windrunner, they shouldn't theoretically die. But guys, this is DotA, where any mistake you make will be magnified, and people will know, and they will call you. They will call you out, or try to kill you, whichever one comes first. So down bottom, you see everybody farming up, just doing things like hanging out. Clinks moving a little bit forward. Actually needs to be very careful. Open Wounds comes out from Windrunner. Shackle Shot does fly through. Central Ward placed down as well. This will be a dead Clinks. We got TP from Prophet. This is a dead Clinks very soon. They do get the last hit just in time. First blood going towards Tinker on that Prophet. And I know it's confusing as crap, guys, but just try to follow along. It's Tinker on that Prophet. So Prophet able to get the TP on top of the tower is going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Pugna has just enough for maybe one. Yeah, actually two Nether Blasts. That's really going to be about it. Nyx Assassin does have an Invis rune, so he might be able to get a nice little triple impale if he can line up right, but he needs the damage to follow up before he actually goes in on that. But this tower, like I said, it can take a whole bunch of damage. The damage output potential coming out from rare candies is actually pretty darn high. It looks like this bottom tower will be getting taken out without a cinch. They're going to be going all in. There comes the Sunstrike from Invoker. It's going to be hitting on top of 2 people by the looks of it. Not going to be enough to kill anybody. Everybody a little bit too close clumped up. For all those who don't know, Invoker's Sunstrike, it does do pure damage, yes, but it does the damage distributed. Actually, we got TP's galore coming out on bottom. We got Prophet showing up. We got another TP coming in. Crystal Maiden it's the first one to go down. Lifesteal picks up the kill on top of that. And now we got Lifesteal popping a beautiful Rage. Dodges a Venomous Gale. No mana for Open Wounds, but if he had the mana, Venomance would be so dead right now. He actually still might be dead. We got Decrepify coming out from Pugna. Prophet gonna get a nice little sprout on top of Venom. Venom gonna throw a Plague Ward. Try to keep running away. Lifesteal's right behind him. The body block from Prophet. Beautiful. Gets the kill, or helps Lifesteal get the kill on top of that Venomancer. And now everybody hobbles on away as they try to survive. Lifesteal did take quite a bit of damage, but he does have a healing salve ready, and he heals up. The beings do come on top of him. They see him there, and the bottom tower gets denied by the Radiant. So all in all, good play from Team SENSEi. And we got a pause coming out. We need a second for Invoker. That's to give us the perfect amount of time to go ahead and take a look at the items, because I saw Phase Boots on Lifestealer, which means, as you guys know, the typical Lifestealer build, which is Phase Boots, Sanjiasha, and drums, and okay, Sanjiasha is debatable, but Phase Boots drums are his core as of, I don't know, since Lifestealer started building that. Since the race car build was first invented back in TI3, I don't really know. I don't really know how far back that goes, but I do know that's a typical build for Lifestealer. Will we see an armlet? Looks like he's saving up for something. He could be saving up for a hand of minus for all I really know. But he does have roughly 900 gold in his bank account. Moving on to Nature's Prophet, he's going for the face boot, so I don't know if we're going to be seeing any Shadow Blade DotA. But if we do, he needs to hurry up and go ahead and go for those Shadow Blades. No hand of Midas built up on him, so no typical Prophet. He was going for the laning Prophet. Windrunner has nothing. She's a support. Invoker doesn't really have much of anything. He actually goes down middle to the DK. Just barely caught the tail end of his death. And we could actually have a TP. We could actually have a TP coming from Prophet mid to try to kill DK, but he will probably get stunned up. There's enough people to rotating in at this current point in time to actually get the kick off on top of him. And we actually got the tri-lane roaming on towards the middle. This should be their chance to actually get this kill, to actually get this easy kill on top of all the towers. Like I said before, they got a push strat galore coming out from the side of Rare Candies, and they need to push, and they need to take advantage of that push. DK has the Breathe Fire, so he can push the creeps out. Pugna has the Nether Blast, so he can just tear the towers down, and Venomancer has the Plague Wars for the scouting. It's a perfect situation, it's a perfect scenario if you use it right. And by golly guys, these Rare Candy are doing an excellent job of executing the strategy, although they are losing out in kills. They're making up for it in tower gold. Top tower going to be getting pushed in. Clinks is here. Does not have any point in strafe, which I actually still don't agree with those kind of builds. I think Clinks should always go for strafe, but he actually does have himself a nice little soul ring. Actually mid, we see a kill go on top of Pugna. Nix has a beautiful spike carapace. Does dodge some damage coming out from DK. He backs on the way. It looks like the only person to die in that whole entire fight was Pugna, who's actually pretty low anyway, so he got himself a nice little free trip to Fountain. Cruiser Maiden getting healed out by Venomancer. These guys are doing everything they possibly can to actually stay out there. And now we got Prophet going versus Clinks. Clinks is going to have his death pack wear off in about 10 seconds time, so he can... Now, going for a dive would be really risky, but I was about to say he could go for a dive, but that would be really, really risky. Meanwhile, middle tower getting pushed. Big surprise is going to be going down. Invoker trying to see if he can time up his last hit. Yeah, structures do get fortified. Crispman does get the nice little, does get a frostbite on top of Invoker. Not going to be enough. Sunstrike from Invoker does go somewhere. I don't know if it landed on top of anybody. Couldn't really figure out where it landed, but so much damage coming up from these guys. Just two spells doing so much damage. And now we got Nick's Assassin on the run. Invoker doing a nice little job of body blocking him for a little bit. And now we got DK stunned on top of Invoker. Invoker not going to be able to do anything. He will be able to turn around and try something. He's actually really low on mana. He has enough for a cold snap though, which just might be enough. And Lifesteal getting decrepified, forced to rage out. And oh jeez, camera, there we go. And just goes and farms. So Lifesteal is in fact going to be going for a part of a drum and also start to work on his armlet. Trying to get the intelligence boost coming out from that mantle. And he's also trying to get, Robe of the Magi. And he's also trying to get his iron armor coming out from the Helmet of Iron Will. Clinks taking a little close call, doesn't go down, but somebody does go down. DK just casually shows up, gets the kill on top of Prophet, so it's going to stop any aggression coming out from him. And a double damage DK means we can push this tower. His ulti will be off cooldown in 40 seconds, which means he'll have maybe like 2 seconds of double damage for one right click. But his team is here, and they're ready to push. Strafe is not up on Clinks just yet. He's going to be going for the full-on Searing Arrows plus Skeleton Walk build. And he's starting to work on his Orchids. The first piece of his Orchids is there. 4 people for the Dire up top, 2 people for the Radiant up top. And as far as their counter push is there. They have the Prophet who can help out the counter push. Windrunner has the Power Shot, which is actually really good versus killing creepers. But she doesn't have all that many points placed inside of him. It's not really going to help him out all that much. Anyway, Pugna's taking a massive amount of damage. Prophet just needs one more right click. Lifesteal jumps out, gets a kill on top of 1. Finds Crystal Maiden, gets a kill on top of 2. Going for a third one. Will he be able to get himself a triple play? He will not be able to get that turkey, but he will just back on the way while he can. Getting slowed up by the Plague Lord. DK is actually going to come in. Stuns on top of Nick's Assassin. Nick's Assassin not able to time that spike carapace fast enough. And Nick's Assassin now officially level 6, so he can start roaming around and killing stuff. And if he can actually pick up a Crystal Maiden every once in a while, just, a casual kill on Crystal Maiden, he can actually do an excellent job. Forcing pop his ulti. Clinks did see him, so they are going to back away. And they do have a sentry here so they can see if Clinks is there. Clinks better be careful walking on through here, because this sentry, what's his range? It's right about there. Do not pass this line, of course. But Clinks is actually going to run the other way and go mid for a kill. That's an easy kill on top of Invoker. Invoker, easy kill all day long. Strafe on Clinks. Is it there? It is not there. He's actually just going for a casual right clicks. Clinks going to be actually running out of death pack just at the worst possible time. Does go down. Invoker able to pick him off. And guys, all I gotta say is hashtag that timing. I mean, Clink's death pack literally just wore out as he started attacking Invoker. That means his damage went down, as far as Clink's damage went down, and also his survivability went down as well. So this tower's getting sieged. It's going to be going down here very soon. Windrunner, we get the last hit on top of it for the deny, but we got a nice little kill going on top of Windrunner, coming out from DK, able to collect a few more pieces of gold. Not only a tower, but also a kill. And now Lifesteal's on the run. His rage actually was used 9 seconds ago. Does go down. I said this once, and I'll say it again. The side of Rare Candy is actually very squishy, but they do have some nice damage output in the form of Pugna and overtime Venomancer. And here we go, the push strat's going on through. Chrismania taking a whole bunch of damage. Pugna almost dead. Really needs to get himself some armor, but he's working on that mechanism. Not gonna be done anytime soon. TP comes in from Nick's Assassin, or he just casual walks in. Trying to see if he can find anybody, but he's moving so slow because I don't think he has boots. Nick's Assassin, where are your boots? No boots, DotA guys. Clinks is looking for a target. He will be able to find himself a Nature's Prophet, but he has no Orchids just yet, but it doesn't really matter. All he really has to do is stand as close as he possibly can to Nature's Prophet and just kill him. No tangos to speak of. So he's trying to scare Prophet out of the jungle, make sure Prophet is not able to farm all that much. And Top Tower is going to be getting killed here by the Radiant, and this will be their first tower, if they can claim it. The Ro8 is already coming in for the Dire. We've seen them before, their potential damage output. And Chrismania can get some sick positioning because of her ulti. Because it's Invis rune. And if she can just get like right about there, if she can just stand right about there while this guy's back away, that's gonna be the easiest kill of their life. Because the Radiant are gonna think they have a path to retreat, but Chrismania just popped that ulti and just slow them all down. Actually, she does get scouted out. The Sentry Ward does get placed, and oh man, she's dead. Our Sentry Ward was placed down, and she just happened to be caught up by a casual Sentry Ward.
Good your scraps of armor, did you? Dire's middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
Just a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Nasty
DK level 11, 2 people TPing in, Prophet TPs around the backside to cut him off, and there we go, we got DK saying, bro, you didn't have to cut me off. He's going to try to do what he can to get some more mana. Not enough to actually get another stun. He's going to go for some right click on top of Prophet. He's eaten alive by the lifesteal. Luckily, he has a lot of armor, but guys, armor doesn't do diddly squat when we got this much damage following right now. He will be going down here in a few short moments. Try to deny himself to a neutral. Does deny himself to a neutral. And I didn't say who's going to go down by. I totally didn't. So I totally called that, guys. But DK having the mindset to actually buy all of his items before he actually goes down, and oh my gosh, my alarm. There we go. No trademark song here, guys. Nothing to see here. Alright, taking a look at the gold graph, we can see that the gold is in favor of Rare Candy because of that tower gold. If we count the towers down on the side of the Radiant are only 3, and that equates to roughly 3,000 gold plus or minus 400 per tower. So relatively speaking, the game is essentially at 0, which means that Team SENSEi are getting their farm the farm necessary to keep going toe-to-toe with Rare Candy. And Rare Candy do have the advantage because they do have the towers, but as soon as Team SENSEi get like maybe kill 3 people inside of Rare Candy, they can potentially take a tower and just cut that gold lead down by a third. It's going to be a dangerous thing because like I said before, Rare Candy have a strong push lineup, but the late game is really where they're going to struggle a whole heck of a lot. And because of that, they have to win within the next 15 to 18 minutes. Because if they don't, then it's going to be too late. Invoker's going to have too much farm. He's going to be able to do so much damage. Nick's Assassin is actually going to have items to help kill people. Prophet's right click is actually going to hurt a lot, and Lifesteal is going to be too survivable for them to actually pick off with their spells. And oh, by the way, people eventually build BKBs because all the damage coming out from Rare Candy is all magical, with the exception of DK. But if you can get DK to just shut up and stop shooting, or just frostbite him, or I don't know, impale him, keep him perma-stun, you'll be fine. Middle tower going to be going down. Rare Candy trying to push their advantage, trying to get the skill on top of Pugna with these Invoker using those forward spirits, chasing that Pugna down to the gates of hell. Sorry, Windrunner throws out a shotgun shot, does not latch. Now we got DK running away. We got people fighting on the backside. I see a Dustful Appearance getting thrown. We got Lifestealer inside of the Prophet looking for his vehicle, and these guys are just kind of all over the place right now. The Plague Lord's going to be casually going down. 17 gold towards Gryffindor, 15 gold towards Slytherin, and 69 gold towards Hufflepuff. Because who doesn't want me in Hufflepuff? True story, guys. If I had to pick a school, I'm a Hufflepuff. Just me, man. So, other things to look at, let's look at the XP graph, because everybody loves staring at this thing. As I always say about the XP graph is relatively irrelevant because the longer and longer the game goes on, the closer and closer that converges to 0, but it's still a really good indicator where everybody is at this current point in time. And as you guys can see, it's not really that big of a difference. I mean, it's okay, about 1,000 XP, but it's pretty much zero from as far as I see it, because everybody's pretty much on equal levels. The only difference is the fact that Invoker has a Hand of Midas, which is really helping out his levels. Prophet's able to get the little, Prophet has a Hand of Midas as well, so it's really helping out his levels. Because Hand of Midas does multiply your levels, the experience you get by 2.5, so that's really the only difference between these two teams, if you want to get all technical stuff about it. Down bottom we got Clinks hanging out all by his lonesome. He can go invisible. Prophet does have a dust appearance. The dust will be flying through. Clinks is going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere. It does go down. Oh man, and he's dead. But the top tower is going to be getting siege. It's going to be taking a whole bunch of damage. Pugna throws down the Nether Blast. But sadly, backdoor regen was on it, so none of that damage will be getting felt. Pugna trying to be as aggressive as he possibly can. He's doing a good job of it, but he really needs to get his team there and to keep pushing. Meanwhile, Invoker doing a little bit of damage. DK gets a long range stun on top of Nyx Assassin, and there's a beautiful shackle for Windrunner, keeping Nyx Assassin alive. I lied, guys. Nyx Assassin totally just died. And that is 5 out of 6 outer towers that are left. And then we got a Smoke of the Sea getting used. These guys will be running on back home, which would be great because there's a nice little observer ward here by the Radiant, which means that whoever this is, Crystal or Lifesteal, will not be able to see that coming, and he's actually going to be going down. His ulti is up, so he can't jump stop a creep. He's actually going to pop a rage and try to TP out. No frostbite, no nothing will actually stop him. No power in the verse can stop me, guys. Plus 20 points if you got that reference. Clink's looking for something in the Death Pack. Death Pack's a creep and just casually starts killing things. The first piece of his Orchids is finished up. And speaking of his Orchids, I saw the Booster Travel on Invoker a long time ago, but I didn't comment on it. Booster Travel on Invoker are really good in the sense that he can just TP to any lane and just instantly throw out some damage and push it back. So it's going to be really nice versus this push strategy. And also you got Nature's Prophet going for more of a push strategy for his team, which is going to be excellent because Necro Books really help out help your lanes push. That's like an extra 7%, I think, at Necro 3, or maybe it's 12%. Whatever percent aura it is for movement speed and attack speed, which really helps out your creeps, especially when you multiply that by 5. Essentially 5 creeps can attack that much faster. So anyway, the Radiant do know that the Dire are doing the Ancients, or doing Roshan, and now these guys come in. Nyx Assassin is here. Not even going to go ahead and pop his ulti because it's on cooldown. Beautiful Impale catch on top of 2. These guys are trying to get tunnel vision. They are going to go ahead and go for it. The Aegis does get stolen, and now we got the fight breaking out in the middle of everywhere. Venomance is dead. DK popping that BKB, trying to go for a man fight. We'll be able to win the man fight versus Prophet because the Aegis, so he gives 0 explicit words. Crystal taking a whole bunch of damage. Invoker getting his nice little combination. Crystal is stuck on the hill, so that saves her life, and she actually just turns around and casually kills a Lifestealer. But she will be going down. Cold Snap does get the damage, does get enough damage to kill the Crystal Maiden, and Plugin does get cut off as far as vision goes. Now we got Clinks on the run. He does not go down. A little bit too much HP. Death Pack thankfully staying in his favor right now.
Middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
Now we got Pugna trying to do what he can to defend. Almost able to get the kill on top of Windrunner. Just one more spell. He dares her to pop one more spell, but she's not going to be able to go down here anytime soon. Pugna popping that mechanism. Sunstrike coming from Invoker. Pugna going to casually walk on towards it. Just a little bit off from Invoker's aspect or point of view, but hey, close enough in my book.
Isn't well at the moment.
Now we got Prophet TP on top of his Necro units. They were not used. His Necro Book's on cooldown. Venomance doing a little de-warding, trying to see if he can find anything around this corner, or trying to see if he can find anybody around this corner, like a Nyx Assassin. And look at that goal graph, guys. Like I said before, if Team SENSEi just claimed like maybe 1 or 2 towers, which they've actually claimed 3, and just bring that tower gold, or bring that tower disadvantage that they had to, like, you know, close to 0, then it's pretty much an easy kill on top of everybody. Anyway, Pugna gets found out up top. He's going to be going down here very soon. Nyx Assassin needs one more right click. Not going to be able to find it. Pugna actually surviving all of that. The rotations do come in for the Dire. They're trying to see if they can cut out the Nyx Assassin, whose ult is on cooldown for 44 seconds. Crucial Maiden is right behind her. Nyx does have himself a nice little impale for her if she does get a little bit too close. Looks like he will not be able to use a beautiful stun from DK, who did go for it, or did find an Invision. And now we got Clink showing up, just giving himself nice to stun. Nyx Assassin is only Spike Carapace level 1, so it does do some very crappy stun time. Like 0.75 seconds, something like that. Power shot from Windrunner. I don't know if it's level 4. It is level 4, so it does do a lot of damage. But then we got Rare Candy on the rampage, or on the push, on the prowl, trying to see if they can actually find a kill on either a tower or a hero. Looks like they're going to be aiming for a Invoker, and I don't think they have any detection, so just one Ghost Walk just might be able to keep Invoker alive.
Illusion.
Meanwhile, we have Lifestealer up top with the courier coming towards him. This just might mean danger for the courier. I don't know if the courier will make it back home safe, but looks like nobody's rotating for the lifestealer. And oh my gosh, I want this courier! Look at it! It's El Gato. It's like a cat and an owl. They made friends and they fly now. El Gato. We shall watch you fly home. Look at him, he's awesome, and he moves fast. Or it. I don't know if it's a he or she, or if it's he and she, or she and he, or she and she, and he and he. I don't know, guys. Society. That's all I gotta say. So moving back on to things relevant to this game, we got the Necro level 2 on Prophet. Necro level 3 is gonna help out, especially when you fight against the Clinks, because I mean you can find the Clinks. You won't have to carry your dust every single time. Of course, it does have a cooldown and whatnot. On the side of Rare Candy, Pugna is building himself a Necro book of his own, which is excellent. That's going to increase his survivability, and I think Venomance is building a 4-staff. So I think Venomance is building himself a Necro book. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Clinks getting caught out, taking a whole bunch of damage. Not dead just yet. He's going to be able to make it out of the range of the vision of all of this stuff, because one Sentry was placed and nobody has anything else. Prophet really wishes he had that Necro 3, just to help out with the kill on top of Clinks, but Clinks will live to Death Pact another day. Now we got the units, the War of the Units. Invoker has his units, Prophet has his units, plus his Necro book. And that's a Necro book number 3 right there, guys. That's a lot of gold going towards Prophet just now. And I'm trying to keep a close eye on this gold graph, because it keeps going back towards Rare Candy's side. But like as these towers keep getting even, you guys see what I was saying before. It's a 1,500 gold advantage towards Rare Candy, which is not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, especially when you consider that Rare Candy have have a 1 tower advantage over Team SENSEi. So if you take that 1 tower out of the equation, that's pretty much 500 gold in favor of Team Rare Candy, which is horribly bad. Because if you look at the levels, I want to say the supports on Rare Candy are not as leveled as the supports on Team SENSEi. But of course, I gotta look at the levels first.
Dire's top tower.
And if we do look at that, it's pretty much an even distribution all around. Clinks is actually really high level relative to everybody on the map. But for the most part, the damage coming out from these guys actually home before. I thought we got Pugna taking a whole bunch of damage. Does get 4-step forward, keeps them alive. Nick Sass beautiful impale from the backside. Chrisman trying to pop that ulti. Nobody's really left around. He's just gonna go ahead and channel it off. Meanwhile, Nick Sass is taking a whole bunch of damage. Pugna trying to stay alive, but he does finally go down. Nick Sass is still alive, hanging on by a thread, by the skin of his teeth. And guys, there's no skin on your teeth. That's disgusting. Anyway, we got Lifesteal getting caught with a nice little stun from DK. Beautiful tornado coming up from Invoker. Will Lifesteal make it alive is a big question. Definite blast from Invoker does keep Lifesteal alive. It says DK, yo bro, back the
Dire's middle tower
explicit word up.
Fire.
And Invoker has a Blink Dagger of all things. So Blink Dagger Invoker, I haven't seen that since Class Wax Invoker, and nobody plays Class Wax Invoker, so I haven't seen that in freaking ever, guys. But we got a Class X Sword Invoker, and he's starting to build his Wax. He's gonna max out his X Sword, and he's gonna max out his Class. Actually, no, he's gonna max out X Sword, and I want to say he's gonna max out his Class so he can get more HP, maybe more damage on his spells. I'm not too sure of the actual logic, but I just know you max out X-Sword so you can get the most possible damage out of Sunstrike. But a Blink Dagger on Invoker, like I said, is usually indicative of a Quas Wex Invoker because that gives you a lot of CC, and the Blink Dagger just gives you that disgusting positioning. So well played by him. Actually, he's going to be getting caught out by the Clinks. Clinks does not have enough to actually kill Invoker. Invoker does have a Tornado, and he can blink away, so he's actually going to Tornado and probably blink away as soon as he possibly can. He will be back down here very soon. Not going to be able to freaking blink out in time, but it doesn't really matter. Clinks going to take too much damage. Beautiful rotation coming from Prophet just in time. Keeps his ally alive, and we got Nick Sass rotating as well. Look at all those people rotating in just to help kill a single Clinks. This is where it becomes extremely dangerous. Now we got Pugna on the run. He knows something's up. He's going to eat a whole bunch of Sunstrike from Invoker. Is going to slap him in the face. Anyway, double kill for Invoker. He wasn't even there. It actually just might be a triple kill. No, it's Lifestealer. Lifestealer finds a Crystal Maiden. Crystal Maiden forced that forward by her ally. Turns around, tries to throw out his Frostbite. Gets blocked away by the Prophet. And Prophet finds a Venomancer. And Venomancer does make it away because they were focusing on Crystal Maiden. He used her as a sacrifice. And guys, if you take a look at that timer, I don't know about you, but that's kind of close to 30 minutes. I think I caught it before in the draft where if Team Rare Candy don't win within 30 minutes, they're not going to be able to win this game. And that's basically showing his face right now. And the general logic behind that is that the team who's going for a super push type strat, where it's just trying to push, kill as many towers as possible and just win, which is what Rare Candy's strategy does align itself with. That team usually spends a lot more time farming as 3 or 4 or 5, and they don't spend so much time by themselves getting some farm. So if you take on the flip side what Team SENSEi have been doing, Prophet has been around, or Invoker has been around, hand to Midas, plus farming by himself, pushing the wave back. Prophet has been on the other side doing the same exact thing, and while everybody else is doing their job to hold the game down. And actually, speaking of holding the game down, Lifesteal taking a whole bunch of damage, but not going to be enough. Beautiful shackle shot from Winner. Catches 2. Pugna gonna be, sorry, one person gonna be dead. That was a Clink, sorry, not a Pugna. But Pugna actually might die here very soon. Here we go. Here's my wish. Venomenter ulti does go through. Pugna trying to do what he can to keep Lifesteal off his tail. He is able to survive. Venomenter 4 stats forward. I don't know if he'll be going down anytime soon, but we got DK gonna be able to get himself a kill on top of 1. Prophet picks himself a kill on top of Venomenter. Now DK doing all the work in the world, getting the slow, getting that level 16, getting the damage. What up, dead people? That's all he's saying right now. So much armor that he's gonna go ahead and swag on the way with his tail between his legs and dies right where he stood. Ultra kill for Prophet. No more kills left because no more people are left alive, and Prophet is gonna celebrate with a casual kill on top of these Necro units. More gold for him.
Well at the moment.
With me.
Dire's top tower is not on. Dire's top tower has fallen.
And I don't really know what much I can really say. I think all is said and done, or after all is said and done, Prophet, Lifesteal, and Invoker are a little bit too survivable. They do too much damage, and Rare Candy can't deal with it. DK is their only slither of hope in my honest opinion. Clinks, he loses his effectiveness exponentially once people start building their BKBs, because actually nobody has a BKB on the side of the Radiant or Team SENSEi. But if they do build BKBs, then Clinks becomes less relevant. Invoker has himself a tornado stick so he can survive. Prophet, he just pop his Necro Book and just kill Clinks back. Lifestealer, he has an armlet so he can toggle that and keep himself alive. Nyx Assassin, he'll probably die. And Windrunner, she'll probably die as well. She has a mech though. So long story short, the Orchid Burn on Clinks is not going to do enough. It's a little bit past that point. Everybody has too much HP, everybody has too much survivability, or too many ways to actually do things to keep themselves alive. So Clinks is their second hope next to DK, and Clinks, all he has is Orchids. And he's working on BKBs, which is really going to help out, because there are a lot of abilities that can keep him down, such as all Invoker's damage can keep him down as far as killing him. Nyx Assassin is pale, is going to be a big annoyance, and also you got Lifestealer with his open wounds, which has been doing actually some good job, or a decent job versus Clinks. Jimmer True Sight purchase on Crystal Maiden for some dewarding / let's find the kills on top of Nyx Assassin for free. Or let me just donate this gem to my enemy team. Lifestealer working on that Basher as he always does, because Basher Stealer is the best Lifestealer. And Crystal Maiden actually gets a kill. Sorry, Invoker, my fault. Invoker gets a kill on top of Venomenter. Just shows up and casually. Oh, Sunstrike, right? Of course, Invoker would Sunstrike. So Trash is showing you guys how to do it. Prophet built himself an AC. What is going on with this game, guys? Prophet says, bro, I have so much freaking money. I'm going to buy an AC. I'm just going to buy an AC. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to freaking do it, man.
Damage.
So Prophet has an AC, which is going to help him out with his survivability, and also is going to help out his creeps with a push. It's going to help out the Necro Books. It's going to help Lifesteal to stay alive. It's going to help Nyx Assassin, Windrunner, and his whole entire team just stay alive. And Prophet with the AC is not usual. I'm going to go ahead and admit that. And meanwhile, up top we see a Clinks trying to run away. He is going to be getting scouted. Death's Appearance does get dropped by the Prophet. I'm trying to get this thing to go away. It does go away. Clinks caught inside the trees. Going to be going down. The Forest is here. The Forest is ready to kill, and they do speak for the Forest. Between Invoker and Prophet, they've been doing their due diligence of getting their farm and killing everybody on the map. So kudos go as well to Nyx Assassin, Windrunner, and also Lifestealer. I mean, Lifestealer, he wasn't really holding down the middle game, but that's more so Invoker's job. But Lifestealer, he's getting his farm, getting his items, and they're going to go ahead and go for this kill on top of Ro8. Open wounds gets thrown down, so everybody gets healed up. They're going to casually start, or continue killing Ro8. And while all this happened, you have a Prophet and an Invoker who has boosted travel, by the way. Which means that they can do some split pushing of their own. So it's a very annoying thing. Actually, we got Invoker. He will be going down here very soon. He has a tornado. He can't really pop. He gets stunned up by DK. Not going to be fast enough as far as getting out of that stun. He does go down at the end of the day. But you lost an Invoker and you got yourself a Ro8. I think is definitely worth it, because Invoker has already done his part. And I do think it's officially too late for Rare Candy. Unless everybody on the side of SENSEi decide to, just donate their lives and buy back and donate their lives again. And let Rare Candy just push in. Because don't forget, this pushing power of Team Rare Candy is still there. They can still push pretty darn fast. And they can break high ground easily if nobody's there to defend it. But when you got Lifestealer, and you also got a Prophet with Necro units plus Treants, and you got Invoker with his Forward Spirits, and Nyx Assassin with his being there in general, it's going to be really hard to push into this team. Moving on to more interesting things, let's go and look at these net worths so I can see how broke Crystal Maiden is. And guys, look, she's at the bottom of the map. Crystal Maiden said, bro, I started at the bottom, I'll stay at the bottom because I am the crystal that holds all these maidens together. I don't know, that kind of works. If you want to consider Lifestealer not manly, or DK, well, technically Lifestealer's a zombie. And speaking of Lifestealer, he gets stunned up by DK, he gets hit with some damage coming out from Pugna, and these guys are going to go all in. Crystal Maiden shows up the Nova, not fast enough. Lifestealer is able to rage and walk away, so he says, bro, I'm good, I'm fine. No armlet required. But if they were able to trap Lifestealer or get in there fast enough, they just might have been able to end his life, which, I mean, I said this before, I said it again. Basically, it's getting to the point where Lifestealer, Prophet, and Invoker, the main 3 cores on the side of Team SENSEi, they're just hard to kill. And if you guys want to put it like this, we got a tri-core strat versus a push strat. Okay, so tri-core strats, how they work. You basically have 3 cores, 3 core main people. So you have 3 cores on the team versus some other strategy. And the idea is that if the other team focuses so hard to try to shut down like your main carry, then it doesn't matter because your other cores or core
now, where
potentially are going to get that far and they're going to start carrying the team on their back. That's fine. If the enemy team tries to focus on shutting down 2 of the 3 cores, then that other person they're not focusing has all kinds of free farm and they can do whatever the heck they want late game and just kill everybody and just make all the room, or they have all the room in the world. Because so much focus is being put on the other 2. If the enemy team tries to put so much focus on 3 of the cores, then, well, that kind of defeats the strategy that the enemy team is probably going for, and therefore it makes their point mute, and therefore the tri-core strategy did its job. So speaking of doing their job, we got Prophet actually running away from a Clinks. He does hide inside the trees. Clinks is here. Necro units can get dropped. Clinks doesn't want to go in for it. He does have level 4 strafe. And he also has some decent amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Meanwhile, mid, we got the whole entire dire side are here. We got a Blinking coming from Nick's Assassin. Lifestealer is inside of him. We got a DK popping that BKB very fast, very quick on his trigger fingers. Going for the kill on top of Nick's Assassin, but he's surviving a little bit too well. The AC helping out like a boss. Prophet TP's in. Casually right clicks. Pugna stealing all the HP he has, he possibly can from the Prophet. And now we got Pugna in a little bit trouble. Invoker throws out his damage, just slaps him in the face. Dead. Pugna is dead. And if that's what appearance gets popped in, they find the Clinks on the side. The Clinks is shackled to a tree of all things. He has a geometry sight. He's going to be going down because of for his troubles. And there's another person dead. And I think the Aegis is still intact. The Aegis is still intact, guys. Lifestealer, casually killing stuff. Gonna go ahead and break that high ground while they can. They do need to break this tier 3.
Under fire.
And while they're breaking this tier 3, they need somebody to push down this bottom, or push back this bottom lane to get ready to push that in. Because what they can do is they can have, like, you know, 3 or 4 people. 3 or 4 people will kill this middle tower, and then they'll rotate up top and try to kill that one as fast as they can, but the other person will be defending this and also pushing it for the next push in on through that way. Anyway, I just want to draw them out. Shiva's got on Prophet. Prophet says, bro, I'm building all the armor I can possibly can. Says, DK, you ain't got no armor on me. And actually, Prophet doesn't have as much armor as DK, sadly. Not yet. He has 29. DK has freaking 33 armors. Invoker throws out the Tornado, throws out his combination, kills the Venomance on the spot. Invoker does get an easy kill on top of that Venomance. And now we got Pugna forces to Crabify, trying to get the energy sap on top of this Lifestealer. Lifestealer pops Rage, and that's not going to be enough to kill him. You know, Lifestealer does go down. Crystal able to pick up the kill on top of that, but it doesn't matter. Lifestealer has an Aegis. And GG's does get thrown out by Team Rare Candy.
Dire's top barracks have fallen.
GG well played come out from the enemy team, and that was GG well played. And there's the end of the game, guys. How do you like that? Push strat versus I wouldn't say a relatively standard strat, just like a counter strat. Because Invoker does have the counter initiations. Prophet has a counter split push. And Nick's Assassin, just Nix. Don't know what to say. So wait, like I said, my name is CulBlu. I just brought you guys the first game that I've casted for the Thursday Evening Cup Series, sponsored by NA DotA. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did, and I'll see you guys whenever.